Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani, karibuni sana.
Container packed with supplies that need to make their way to families in Africa, like yesterday. You said this is a 53-foot trailer? This trailer is packed with medical supplies destined to the motherland. We need to help get these out of here. Are you tired of fighting with your wife or with your husband? Have you each retreated into your separate corners, not even trying to speak to each other anymore? Are your children witnessing a toxic marriage rather than a purposeful partnership? Hi, I am Shar, and I am an attorney mediator and experienced in helping families for the past 13 years navigate really challenging times. And I am here to help you. Husbands, hear your wives. Wives, hear your husbands. So together we can find the truth why your family is struggling and what it will take to get unstuck from cycles of misunderstanding and patterns of frustration. Join me live on YouTube on this Monday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern as I conduct a live mediation. And if you would like to be heard, if you would like to hash out a misunderstanding with your spouse here on our live, sign up now to apply for your free opportunity to mediate. And I look forward to seeing you Monday night.
Shalom. Salama. CMA. Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world. Whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted in under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, welcome you this morning. Before I get into this and I kind of break this on down, I want to shout out to Sister Shar. Please go check out her channel Monday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern. She streams live. Because in this time, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot of relationship issues with our family, because here is the real kicker, and we're going to get into that with this convergence of stratagem. The real kicker is that people see what's happening in the world, but they don't want to see what it truly means for them. Here's the thing. It's and I hate to be so graphic starting off your morning, but I want us to really understand. And I have to dial this back to World War II, 1944. There are a couple of bombs known as Boxcar and Fat Boy. Arguably, at that time, the most devastating weapons. The most devastating weapons that they had at that time, conventionally speaking. The survivors of those bombings had stated that some of the people that received the pamphlets that were mailed out 24, or actually not mailed out, excuse me, that were dropped out of the airplane 24 hours before the bombings took place, it was literally a small contingent of people that left. They took heed and they left. They got up on out of there. As for the majority of the people, they stayed. Imagine that struggle with your family. Because here's the thing, family, understand this is now the situation with all of us. Oh, yes, Brother Karras is going through the same situation. We tell our family this is what's happening. We let our family know this is what's going on. I don't know. I can't see it. No, the government will tell us. The government will tell me, right? If we need to evacuate, the government. Because why? Because it's a complacency issue. See, what they don't tell you about in the history books was that Japan was already literally defeated. Some historians have reported that Japan was already trying to get into talks with the US. So it didn't have to be go to that extreme. But you have to understand the mind of certain folks, of a certain people, of a warlike people. They don't talk to you until you're completely destroyed and on your knees. Because why? Because you have no position and no power of negotiation. You're just either you're coming to ask for help or you're burning in the smoldering fire. Those are the only conditions. So the folks that took heed, that ran to the mountains, because it said, get out of the area. You have 24 hours to get out and go as far away as possible. And to be honest, even your farthest, especially when you're with donkeys and oxen and all sorts of other cattle, you got to remember they really weren't that industrialized. It was really after World War II, Japan became the Japan that we know today. In those times, it was very, very not necessarily. It was still metropolitan, but the transportation systems wasn't what it was. You had maybe trains and other things, but cars and vehicles, no. Not that many people in the United States at that time even had a lot of cars. It was really right after. It was really right after the World War II, and you had tanks, GM, D- uh, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, all these stalwarts of production of the war vehicles, the war economy. That's when they said, okay, well, we're going to transform our production line into domestic vehicles. Because why? You still had a lot. And you were already gaining because why? Because to the victors, the spoils, and there you had it. Everybody was getting cars. Everybody had jobs. Production was at the all-time highest, and people were exporting. Vehicles were going everywhere, all around the world. And now we have at a time where we have conveniences. Conveniences. Do I want to leave my home? Do I want to leave my apartment? Do I want to leave my couch? I'm comfortable here. Where would I go? What would I do? Yeah, I understand that they have this here. Yeah, I understand that, there's a thought of civil war and everything else. We'll talk about all that. We're going to get into it this morning. I told you, family, we're going to have a lot of talk about. I told you we're going to have a lot of talk about this morning. because you don't have to be Nostradamus to understand what's happening. The convergence of stratagem. The funny thing is that we've been speaking about this for years. Shout out to Yakoba. Shout out to Teyu. And I can understand. Look, pray for Yakoba and pray for Teyu, please, because you have to understand your body tends. I don't know if many people have ran marathons, but when you're running a marathon, your body gets into that gear really after the third or fourth mile. I'll bring you on just a second, Rojo. After that third or fourth mile, and then you're kind of cruising, then you're kind of cruising, then at that last third, about 7, 8 miles, then you know that your body is saying, okay, it's getting ready to end. This is getting ready to end. And guess what? You feel everything on your body. Man, it was feeling so good for 16, 17 miles. And then what ends up happening, your body actually wants to start saying, no, you need to shut it down. You need to relax. You can relax a little bit better. And you realize you can't relax because you're still in the middle of the race. So you have to pray. You have to get your body into where it needs to go and how it needs to go. And then, you keep it moving, you keep things going, but you're still hurting all the while because you know that this is the last stretch. Family, we're in the last stretch. I don't know. eh, eh, I don't know what anybody else is telling you. The convergence of strategy. I was listening to our Canadian Maple Leaf brother. I don't know who's calling the shots. I don't think they're calling the shots. I wanted to say, please read Zechariah 1 and 21. They're calling the shots because they done told you they're calling the shots with bricks. That ain't a hard thing. They told you they're about to do the new development bank. Come on. One currency is getting thrown away, another currency is coming in. That's not hard. Hey, we're going to fight because why? Because when we're done, we get the spoils of victory. That's not an imaginative leap. That's what's happening. That's the reality on the ground. But it's hard for people, even those that's best prepped, to realize what's happening right now. It's hard to explain that to your family members. Hey, this is what's happened. This is why you're not able to find things. This is why your vehicle has still been at the shop for 5 days. My son's car was just in the shop last week, and now my dad's car is in the shop. And they're still getting and trying to find parts. It took my son about 5 days to get his parts. Why is that? Because the supply chain here in the United States is broken. It's off the rails. What is it going to look like in March, April? I don't even know. Because why? Because the supply chain is going to have to be deviated to do what? To fight a war. Remember everything? Shout out to Yakoba. He was talking about this yesterday. Hey, we're going to have a war in this time and that time, and it's going to be this and that. This is what that they've been saying. 20. This is what they've been saying, NATO. We need 20 years. We need 10 years. We need 5 years. We need all this other stuff, right? That's why I say, look, don't ever believe them. Don't ever believe them. Let me bring you up, Brother Rojo. Shalom, Brother Rojo.
Shalom, shalom. I am driving. Well, I was. I just made it home. I work strange hours now. Um, did you get my email last night?
Yeah,
And
yeah, I think I replied to you.
I've been busy, man. I've
I
been just really doing a whole lot of paperwork and a whole lot of catching up. Had to do some stuff about my finances and everything. So I've just been. And I do see it. I do see it.
Yeah,
Um,
you sound tired, Brother Rojo. Don't be taking out your Kit Kats and try to clean the Kit Kats and then mess yourself up.
Hey, look here. After I read, yeah, my little pew pews, little pew,
Your pew
little pew pew.
pews. I saw that in the chat too, Rojo. With your Skittles and your Starburst. Yeah, that
But hey,
had me dying.
guess what happened in your state though? A couple of days ago, like, and you might know where this is at better than I do. Do you know where Stark, Florida is?
Yeah, I know Stark. Yeah,
Do you know that they liquidated their entire police force?
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
They are all. I mean, now whatever sheriff department is out there, sheriff's office, they're going to take
Uh,
over the municipal police, but
I think
it's
that's
going to be in
that's
the
Bradford. I think that's Bradford County. I think it's Brad because I always have to drive through Stark going over to Jacksonville. Hmm.
and also I have to say this shout out to Black Alpha for this because I don't want to plagiarize anyone's information. You know that whole thing going on that Texas and Florida came in together about for the border. Well, how many states on the lower 48? 48,
Yeah,
right? Guess what? 25 of those 48 states are standing with Texas and are ready to bump heads with the National Guard if they dare try to go over there and cut those lines.
I wanted to talk about that too. Oh my goodness, there's a lot I wanted to talk about. I don't even know if we're going to be able to go through because there's internal forces and there's external forces. And I truly believe that those external forces are driving these internal forces as we speak. You know, well, let me get into this article. I just want to this came on up. I have it in the chat. Shout out to my British folks on out there. That was my worst British accent from Brixton, bruv. Brixton, bruv.
You need to take classes from Chantel Smith.
I'm representing London, bruv. Oh, so this is the U.S. Sun. This article: Call of Duty. Ordinary Brits face call up if UK goes to war with Russia because military is too small, Army chief says, amid World War III fight. Meanwhile, NATO announces biggest call up in decades as 90,000 troops begin to prepare to begin World War III drills. So they're beginning World War III drills. They already know. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to go on in to counter any type of Russian threat because here's the thing. I have this article on Out There Family. It's just basically saying, oh, amid the threat of World War III, they already know they're going to go to World War III because this little place right here in white is about to turn red. Belarus is getting to invade. That means these countries are going to have to do something. These countries right here in white will definitely lean to red. That sliver is going to be an issue. This country, Turkey, basically just put red and blue stripes. Because Slovenia Croatia, Montenegro, Albania, and probably, most definitely, North Macedonia. Hmm. I don't see them embracing the EU side or NATO side of things.
Well, bro, I gotta inform you something. Pardon the cut in,
Oh,
but
go ahead.
all those nations you just named,
Hmm.
each and every one of them, guess what? They were found on the border within the past couple of days. You know how those people, random people, go and
Oh,
ask.
yeah. Hmm. Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. They were there. Jacoba showed the evidence. If you did not see the live, if you did not see that live, you better look. You better understand. We don't have much time. And oh boy, I want to show you all something.
I just have to ask though, why is it always your state? Why is always stuff happening in Florida? Is
Florida's
it?
the coolest state ever. We got Trump. Trump is Trump is Jesus Christ and orange flesh.
Yeah, y'all do got the
All
chance.
hail Trump.
Asian
All
origin
hail
full of
the
fat.
power of Trump. From whence the glory flows. And the power of Trump.
Oh, say, can we Trump for the orange man on an early night or early daylight?
Remember that? It's like the Father Trump and Holy Trump. All hail the power of Trump's name.
Trump, Trump, Trump,
That's what
Nikki.
that's what they be singing in church.
and, and it's not Nikki Haley, the voice Nikki Haley, because she got the hell beat out of her.
Oh
in
man,
the,
no. Look, they were trying to say she got beat, and for her being beat, it was the Republican parties were picking on a person of color. I'm like, what?
oh, no, that's what.
I was like, what? Yeah, I had to laugh at that too.
Guess
There,
what? We
listen,
won we won New Hampshire, baby. 18 in
you,
2024.
you need to put the number one Israelite Trump supporter. That's what you need to put.
Boy, God, he covered here all he already covered here waving the tangerine man's flag.
Oh man, I put on in here. I put on in here. This is AP News. Let me tell you why this thing is so important. Here's the thing. All right, Biden Trump win New Hampshire primaries decisively. Live updates. You know, like right before I went to bed, they only had like 25 of the state or the little precincts and stuff in New Hampshire reporting, and it was like Trump officially wins New Hampshire. I'm like, dang, I guess they called it already. Yeah, they did.
I got the notification vibration too, bro. I saw it and it said, I think what on my phone it said like, oh, Biden's not on the ballot or whatever. I'm like, what? I don't know. I saw those pushing notifications as well. I wasn't
Hmm.
asking for it.
Oh my goodness. And you know, so let's really break this on down because not only did Trump win Iowa, not only did Trump win New Hampshire. Here's what's coming up in about another 2 weeks. You have South Carolina. And she ain't gonna win South Carolina. Tim Scott already endorsed Trump. She's not gonna win South Carolina. And so she's not gonna be able to win her own state. She's just gonna so she's not gonna bow out. Just and that's just because she's represents the money of the opposition. So she's not gonna bow out. But the problem is it's just going to be she's just going to be there to try to disgrace and discredit and do everything all the way to the primaries, because remember, there ain't nobody else really left. DeSantis is gone. Haley, she's not winning anything. So basically, Trump is really the de facto Republican nominee.
That's right. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. We're going to do it huge this year. I'm the only candidate that's there. I can't do a Trump impression. Your Trump is pretty funny. I can't do a Trump.
Listen, Garth. Do you smell that other than a little bit of my boo-boo in my Depends? No, what I smell is victory. And what you hear are losers, because we're doing this bigly. It's huge. Don't let the deep state fool you. Oh my goodness.
Those are alternate facts.
Those alternative facts are not the reality, I guess, for these other folks. So what does that really mean? Well, shout out to Yakoba. You saw what was going on at that border. The Supreme Court had authorized the Biden administration to basically cut the concertina wire, which is the razor wire, and they can just come on in and let the invasion begin. So now here it is. They're trying to go and take this in front of the Supreme Court and for states' rights. And to be honest, it says this: if the states decide to get involved, to get themselves involved and try to place back the concertina wires, they said that they can be detained. What does detainment look like?
Probably getting beat down and laying prone with someone's foot on the back of your neck. I mean, with that situation down there.
What's that word? Oh, and I learned it when you're a part of something and then you just like disassemble from it, whether it's purposely or.
Do you mean succession?
Yes, there you go, succession.
Well, also before you get to succession, what you're going to get to is confrontation. Why? Because they're going to say, no, this is states' rights. Because why?
Yeah.
You're letting in folks illegally. And here's the thing: do you all know that states even have their own constitutions?
Yes, and
states have their own constitutions. Yes,
I
they
think
do.
it's the amendment. It's the 14th Amendment that protects the state, or is it the 10th Amendment that protects the state to have its own autonomy based on different rules?
And the federal government is not allowed to impede on really the safety of the states for its own federal gains. Technically speaking, Texas has all the right in the world to patrol the borders, because why? Because it's an issue directly for the state of Texas.
Yeah.
I got an announcement to make.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry about that, Garth and Karis. If y'all are interested, a lot of us, this is something that started by, again, Black Alpha and some other people, but we're all going to get involved to work to dismantle and dissolve the NAACP. We want them gone. We want them wiped completely out. So there are lawsuits being filed against them, and then we're going to file writs to get their 503c snatched up from them.
Their charter
because
taken away? Yeah, because they're not
yeah,
doing anything. The charter isn't actually the charter of what they're supposed to do. Because to
You
be
mean the
quite honest,
actually? Let me shut
yeah.
up.
Well, their charter was never what it was actually there for.
Yeah, we know.
You know what I'm saying? I think right now they're just realizing that black folks aren't falling for the okey doke that was there, you know? And yeah, it's certainly about time. It's certainly about time. Hey,
well, no, they did something very highly disrespectful to a lot of the brothers out there on MLK Day. They came up there with police and force to run off brothers, black American born brothers on MLK Day. So you're talking about a day that celebrates your ancestors. You're coming up to them with fire trucks fired up, with them getting out fire hoses and them getting dogs ready, and police coming up in gear with hands on the guns and everything to ask them to leave. But yet the Palestinian W protesters, they let come on in. And then Kamala Harris gave a that despicable witch just um, stepped all over MLK's name. So like I said, we're just doing a lot of things, but we're doing
yeah,
it legally.
but haven't they been stepping on MLK's name? I
He,
mean, that's
he
the
was at
whole
the
thing.
Ravens game.
You know that's just how it's always been. You know, so when people are like, "Oh, it's this, so it's that," to be quite honest, you know, this is where they want you to be emotionally involved and tied up because why? Because they don't want to get you. They don't want you to see what's happening in the rest of the world. In the rest of the world, well, we're going to get you distracted on MLK. While we can go ahead and draft your young men, our children, our sons, our daughters, because why? Because we got you distracted on MLK while we snatched them away for a war that we already know is not going to be won by them. Imagine that. Imagine you see the word, right? You know the word, and then it's, hey, you get your sons and your daughters are getting snatched up. Jeremiah 50 and 51. Uh-oh.
Also, bro, Karis, the whole like from Brother Yacoba's show and this, and you know how we always talk about, everything is a coincidence when they put out these movies. Like literally, I'm gonna go back and look at the Civil War trailer, but I'm pretty sure Texas was the one the was mentioned in the trailer,
Hmm.
and being like a huge opponent against the government when I was like listening to it. So we shall see.
I don't know. Well, yeah, Texas, but California was like that was a stretch to me. Like California would want to maintain this. They're the ones getting all most of the benefits. You see what I'm saying? They're not telling anything about their illegal immigration problem because that's what they want. So, now Texas, that's not what they want. It's just that Texas is really the easiest route because the more west you go, the harder it is because to be quite honest, those are your drugs smuggling places. The further west you get of Texas.
Sicarios, they call them.
I don't know what it is, but but those are really your smugglers and predominantly your drug smugglers going crossing the the Rio Grande. Those are your people crossing the desert. Those are your drug smugglers. Cause why? Cause you will get your product can get messed up if it gets into the water. I mean that's why you go on the land route.
Also,
So
also, this is really random, but we don't have to talk about this now. But I just from your experience, because hey, yeah, I watch it on TV, and then we have the different like movies, but like submarine warfare, because what's his name was quaking. Our Maple Leaf buddy was like quaking when he talked about the submarines, and I forgot which country was using had a submarine option, and he was like bugging out.
Well, Russia has a submarine option. Russia has actually infiltrated U.S. waters. I mean, actual territorial waters. Shout out to Sister Fatea. She had even come on a couple of weeks ago and had explained that there were subs that were actually over near Seattle, and this incident was really, really covered up because that was an embarrassment to have subs, Russian subs, going to literal port areas. So if that happened then, well, what's happening now? And if that's transmission, it's not the fact about the subs. Subs are subs. The fact is, what type of encryption do the Russians have that the U.S. isn't even picking up on whatever communications or data lines? Do they get their communications and data lines while they're still in international waters, and then they just go silent for the rest of the way? Do they have technology that allows them to go somewhere on a spectrum that's really not covered?
Yeah, I was about to ask you how like so they could like literally like spoof different like signals and just completely make them well, yeah, that's just all part of warfare, but I'm just like trying to understand how that well it's really in layman's terms, it's just they're so much more advanced than the US. And then I even hear that um the John Kim missiles are more accurate than ever. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, did you not see what they done did to Odessa? The Russians were blowing the mess out of Odessa. Look, they've been striking Kiev ever since Kiev struck Donetsk, which is a war crime, mind you. And this nation doesn't tell you about the war crimes that it supports. You do not actively target civilian sites. You can't target malls. That's a war crime. So then I always like that someone was saying, in their dream, they're talking about, carpet bombing where it's just indiscriminate. I'm like, how did they get there? Well, now you see. This is how you see why they come on in and just ravage this place. Because why? Do you hear anybody else complaining about war crimes? You have that with Gaza. You have that over in Donetsk. This is where we're at right now, family. Look, how can you tell that to your family? Hey, this place is about to get really messed up. No, it's not. Just calm down. I'm ready for the Super Bowl. We interrupt your broadcast. That's not supposed to happen. I'm waiting for the halftime show.
you're gonna have to do your best Lamar Jackson impression and flee.
Yeah, what do they say? It's the 49ers against the Ravens now. Like, somebody let that cat out the bag. Like we didn't know that, that they don't. Think about it. You've now had a sports commodity that is now betted on. You don't think that they're going to, I don't know. It's just like any type of gambling operation. What? The house always wins?
Of course. And I mean, literally, after, I mean, off topic, but after the Patriots the Falcons game, I knew that football was rigged because the 28-3 comeback was crazy. And I'm like, no way. This is all WWE to me now. So,
Yeah, they said it's the 49ers, not Lions. It's the 49ers and Ravens. Baltimore Ravens. The San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. Well, mm,
And think
To
about
me,
it, bro, Karis. I'm a Ravens fan, and Babylon is gonna be a ravenous, a, a, a place full of ravens and birds,
hmm
ravenous heap.
so yeah. Now, if it happens, quote unquote, happens like that, it's just happenstance. They do those promos. They do all the combinations, so they're ready for talking points. All that little blah 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 nonsense. Well, we do that just because we want to make sure we have all the images and okay, okay. Oh, look at that. It happened the way. I guess we're pretty good. We know our stats. Alrighty. We believe that one. But, I always look at it like this. No matter how much they can try to, distract us, things are happening a whole lot quicker than what they want to admit. They can't. Okay, here's the thing, family. They are going to war. They want to go to war. But the problem is that they don't have the resources and human bodies to go to war. This is why they try to say spring 2025. No, they're not going to do spring 2025. If I'm an adversarial nation and I see that the nation that wants to fight me isn't ready to fight until about another 12 to 18 months, what am I going to do?
You go strike.
Bingo.
Like Cobra Kai, strike.
Oh,
Strike first, strike fast, right? Strike first, strike fast.
Ain't seeing it. And they sit right here and keep us. Well, I ain't gonna say keep us. Keep this state with this migration with sports. People coming into into the United States. That's a distraction. We know it's a reality. We see it. Boom. All right. Sports. We see it. Boom. Now your major people in front of the TV now are black people. Are black people. You don't see nothing about a lot of Gentiles all in the news like that. No, it's black people that is dominating. What's going on in Hollywood? What's going on in the music business? All of this is one of the I've never seen a ploy to put out distractions as I have been seen. I'm serious. Never seen it like this before. There's so many different roads to distractions. It is unbelievable. And they're trying their best to keep us off our game. Like what you said earlier, Karis, this is like a final attack on us. You sitting back, you looking at scriptures, you're applying scripture where scriptures should be applied. You got brothers and sisters, hey, throwing out warnings, backing up with scriptures. But for the vast majority of people, caught up in the world. They caught up in the world, man. I mean, it is what it is. And it's just like we are experiencing a falling of a domino, a real heavy domino. It's falling slowly. But once it gains its momentum, ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no coming back from it. We can sit up here and talk about this or that until we blue in the face. There's something else. There's something bigger on the horizon. The United States, like what you said, they're not ready for no war. And the world knows it. The media talks about it. And if your own media talks about it, What do you think China's going to be saying? Wait a minute, wait a minute, they don't have enough people to fight? Russia saying the same thing. North Korea saying the same thing. Iran is saying the same thing. They don't have the strength to fight. We need to strike. It's called common sense to me. And then they got all these people that's coming into the country. This is, I mean, this,
Go ahead.
this is a prime time to attack.
Mm.
You got an immigration problem. You left the back door. You open up the back door, and now you got you have black people that is complaining. We're taxpayers, and you throwing us out on the street. But you want our support. That's just like saying, no, it ain't no saying. It's gonna be like, Ninja, please. You want my support. You go sit up here and tell the world, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Man, please. They can let that nonsense ride.
Yeah, I think he shot himself in the foot, and that's why. Remember, all roads lead back to us, and I really do have a suspicious feeling that the vote for Trump in this upcoming election, if it even gets there, will probably be very staggering in terms of the level of support. And I mean staggering in terms of highly that black folks will be backing up Trump. And that's why, in my opinion, I don't think we're ever going to get to a vote, because I think
I was saying the same thing.
To me, I look at it like this. This is way too much going on. So, here's the thing. Ukraine is really a political nightmare. Ukraine is a political nightmare. And they're not winning. And because they're not winning, the support for Ukraine has died out. So here's the problem now that's being faced, especially by the EU and NATO members, is that because Ukraine is getting ready to be lost, the question is, who else wants some? And don't think that when you have conquered something, a territory, that you done threw all your chips in, especially for NATO, European NATO countries. Your biggest supporter then up and leaves because they got to make sure that they got ships going through the Red Sea. Listen, even Jacoba pointed this on out, and Canadian Prepper pointed this out this morning. Russian and Chinese ships are not targets.
Wait a minute, say it again, brother. Say it again.
Russian and Chinese ships are not targets. Only the U.S. and U.K. ships. That means, guess what that means? That means the reliance on Russia and China by the EU is greater than ever.
Yeah, sounds like a realliance to me.
Mm-hmm. Why even listen? Do you understand what the European nations are about to do? Man, why fight? Why fight? We're declaring to dissolve NATO. We're declaring to pull our allegiance from NATO. Bam. There you go. Bam. There you go. All right, business as usual.
Imagine. They'd just be like, we're gonna dissolve. Who would be able to even spearhead that? Like Germany or France or one of them?
Probably France would spearhead it first.
So you mean to tell me that the United States took their ships out there and became a target?
They have to transit it, because if they transit it any south, They go through South Africa, and South Africa can pop in on them anytime. Do you realize this? Here's a lot of people. Here's what a lot of people don't realize in the calculus of everything. And this is where
Mm.
we're going to. I want you to understand this is where we're going to. That decision by The Hague of the International Court of Justice, we're still waiting on that decision. That decision has now been, we're still waiting on that for the last, 2 weeks now. They actually come up with the Indonesian, I believe, and the Slovenian cases.
Hey,
February
Kerry,
19th.
can I give a?
Let me
Okay, I'm
say
sorry.
this real quick.
All right.
That's for the statehood. This is for the genocide purposes. When The Hague comes back and says we side with South Africa to have the genocidal action stopped through ceasefire and any type of nations supporting the genocide have any type of effects, right? That's what they'll probably label it as. Any type of effects, right? Economic, diplomatic, whatever. That appropriate action will be done against those countries. That's how they'll label appropriate actions. What will those appropriate actions be? Quite simply, an embargo of ships going through the Cape of Good Hope. What does that mean? Russia and China were already there. Do you remember the military exercises that took place July and August in South
South
Africa?
Africa, yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, family.
Yeah, now it's all coming.
Do you see how this is all coming together?
Mm-hmm.
Chess,
Yep.
not checkers.
So then now you get nothing coming through because guess what? Everything will start having to pass through either what? The Philippines, the Malagan Straits, over by Indonesia, which they're already now having their claim, South China Sea. Herein lies the problem with the US. You have no shipping support. Your supply chain is destroyed. So then if your supply chain is destroyed, then guess what? What are you going to do? Well, then everything's going to come through from Europe to the Atlantic. And Europe is going to say, hey, remember the pipeline Nord Stream? We're not saying that you did. We're not saying that you didn't do it. But what we're saying is we still remember, and y'all are going to be paying these exorbitant prices because they're going to be giving them the Master P of, I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me.
You got to do the
Phenomena.
Hey, God, you too young for that, bro. That's grown folk music, man.
Bro. I mean, my cousin was. I remember my cousin blasting Nolan and
I'm sorry.
So it appears to me that this is going to be one of the most man. I'm just speaking for this country. Now I'm looking at. Did you see the video where one of the Russian guys who's coming across the border, and the guy was like, somebody asked him who he was. He said, "You gonna know who I am." But then after they did some research, they come to find out he was a terrorist and things of that nature. But he was saying, in time, you gonna know who I am. This is what he said.
Yeah, he said I wanted to say that on the show. I said that was the F around to find out meter. The F And if you F around at this level, you're going to find out at this level. You're going to F around and find out.
Return of the Mac once again.
No, that guy said, try this at a border town. Try that at a border town. Let's see. Hey, but on
This
a serious note, I got to give an alert to my California brothers and sisters. Y'all watch out. They are already deputizing and swearing in a bunch of illegal aliens for the LAPD and LA Sheriff's Department, and they're arming them heavy. So y'all just be on the lookout if you live in California.
man, they doing that stuff in Chicago, telling me they can come and get a job and all that. You know, yeah, we seeing what's happening. And we, you know, individually, we got to start thinking and using common sense. I mean, when it's all over said and done, they left the back door open. Did they not?
I don't even want to go there. If I go there, it's going to be too ignorant. And Holmes, hey, listen, Cabron, you were speeding, Holmes.
Hey, Chico. Hey, you know, we're not building no more border.
License and registration. License and registration.
Get on the ground before I blast you, and I'm going and leave your wallet beside you. And say,
Sir, you know why I was pulling you over? You are going towards the Mexican border.
what you going there for, hoes? You going to women?
Officer, what is your name and badge number? And are you are you actually a legal citizen? Listen, my name is Juan Rosalio.
Hey, the person pulled over. Hey, excuse me, officer. May I get your badge and may I get your badge number and your name, please? The officer. Hey, me no speak English. No hablo inglés. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo?
What did they tell you in your police academy training? Listen. They said black people are the number one folks we are supposed to arrest.
And you know, they told us not to forget to read Miranda rights, even though I don't know what it is.
I said, Miranda or Martinez rights. I still do not understand that what it is.
I will make it very simple for you. Ese, my boss tell me, my jefe tell me, moreno, negro, malo, bad.
Malo.
El malo, pal malo.
Pero blanco, the white, good. Es un anjo.
Bueno.
Mucho bueno. Hey, papi, el no habeas corpus over here.
They say the white is Jesus Cristo Blanco con ojos azul. Mismo la mar, la agua.
Ayúdame. Mucho rights. I'm an American citizen.
My badge number is 6.
Hold on. Man, y'all are killing me. Wait. ¿Cuántos dinero, güey?
No dinero, papi. Only pesos. We don't accept American dinero.
Okay. Look. Okay. Me te quiero tu carro, tu dinero, tu ropas, tu mujer, tu vives. Okay. Your decision. Which one? Is cinco cosas. You decide now. Hurry.
It's like Lo Siento. You know, I'm pulling a Grand Theft Auto. I don't know how to say bye, so sayonara. No, I'm just
Hasta la vista.
It's hasta luego.
Let me get you. Let me get everybody back on track here. All right. So Newsweek. Here's the Newsweek magazine. How Greg Abbott's border fight bolsters calls for an independent Texas. This is an independent Texas. So they're talking about, all right, the Supreme Court decision to allow federal officials to remove parts of a razor wire barrier Texas had erected along the border with Mexico. Excuse me. A case of DC overruling Governor Greg Abbott has sparked further calls for the Lone Star State to declare independence from the United States in a movement called Texit. I'm going to tell you. So Yacoba had this on yesterday, and it was a brother that had given a little bit of a commentary on this, and to me. Did anybody ever see this coming last year? I mean, we heard the hints and things back in really 2021, 2022, but now I think there's actually now more veracity to this that folks are going to try, they're going to up and leave. The question that's on my
When you talking
mind
about up
is,
and leave, where you talking about up and leave? Where?
I mean, Texas getting ready to up and leave the Union, the United States.
Oh, I heard about that. That was some years ago. They was talking about that.
Yeah, no, but
Well,
now the Supreme Court decision came in this week, and now folks are angry. And now this isn't any, well, we'll take a canvas and we'll do this. No. Now there's some folks actually saying, are they going to push the button?
well, a few years ago, Karis, 2 or 3 years ago, the Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida got together. The governors got together with a meeting to secede from the Union. The whole doggone South got together to secede from the Union.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big article wrote up. I don't know if it was on the Daily Mail or Newsweek. It was on one of those big, news publishing places, talking about seceding from the Union. So it's been going around for the last 5-6 years.
You know what? Texas is not going to secede because they were not. I don't know. To be honest, I don't believe that statement. I don't believe that statement. I'm gonna kind of cue in a couple of uh, there's going to be some fundamentals and figures that I even know of personally when I had served, especially when you're talking about the amount of population
Well, I mean, just
that
listen to Diana. She got a
had.
point there now.
No. Do you understand the amount of people
That are
that are
ready to just
recruited from
die.
Texas? That are recruited from Texas? Recruited. How do you think the military recruits? The U.S. military, with its recruitment, most of its recruitment comes from Texas.
Mm, I
Well,
don't know.
now the threat is okay. It's not that they've just been threatening. I understand that. The problem that they now have is you now have a dollar that's getting ready to collapse. That's number one. So if you get on out before the bills are due, then guess what? Hey, that's not on me. That's on them and all the people attached to them. We left before that collection had to come through. You see what I'm saying? We left before that bill had to be paid or that we got affected. Number three, their economy can actually stand on its own with oil and things of that nature in the Gulf. They already have most military programs and platforms there in Texas. You have a Navy presence. You have a robust Air Force and Army presence. You even also have a pretty decent Marine presence, even with Louisiana, because If Texas goes, then so will Louisiana. The dominoes will fold east. Maybe some west, not sure, but definitely east.
Your state would definitely go, Karis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Florida would be on out. And people in Florida would either get mad, or I actually think that Florida, a ton of people would start to jump to Florida before things start to go on, because you got to remember, a lot of folks from the east, the northeast, midwest, they have homes here, and they will try to leave before they lose their homes. Hey, it's either the Midwest or Florida. Oh man, I'm out.
Well, you don't see all those people migrating to the Keys down there, and I'm like,
It's
those.
just like, I don't think people understand logistics things. It doesn't matter if they don't own the base. If you don't have, if the state cuts off the logistical support, a lot of those places that make tanks and things of that nature are in the South. Your logistical support is in the South. So it doesn't matter. Even if they don't, quote unquote, have, they get cut off, they'll get cut off. But they'll still replace it because they already have it there. They have the logistics. Yes, they do. A lot of the logistics comes from the South.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
you got Lockheed and Martin down here in the South, all over
Yes,
Alabama.
you do. Yes, you do.
So yeah, I can see Texas sustaining its own, because man, Texas is a big state, and also from the Mississippi back to Louisiana into Texas below that I-20 corridor, that
Hmm.
region sits on a large reserve of natural gas.
Yes, it doesn't matter. So
So
this
brothers and
time
sisters,
it's for
natural
real.
gas. Yeah, go
This
ahead,
time, yeah, you're right,
Karis.
brother Mikael. This time is for real. Do they have the will? Do they have the necessity? Yes, absolutely. Because if not, they're going to get overran in droves. So it's going to be destroyed. I honestly look at it as, to me, that's the first state that would really bounce. That's the very
And
first state, and then they'll, and then when you
Louisiana.
bounce with that, yeah, sorry, but when you bounce with that, what ends up happening is, then there's an act that the U.S. says, if you I forgot what it is, that you can't intercede on behalf outside of the federal government for other, like states, or smaller states, unless you have the federal government. But what I would see is that you would probably have either treaties or other, support ventures that would then be aligned. So if they do that, it would be okay. Well, this country's coming to this country, this country, this country. Yeah, there's a lot. There would be, if they're talking about this, they've done something about this.
My only question is this. Um, you talk about a few states against another country. All right, it seems like the United States has experienced its own uh, division. There's a divide in the household, and
Hmm.
so a divided household cannot stand.
Hmm.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, there is a breakup in the this country. Now, we did see this in Leave the World Behind. On the wall, they had the map of the United States. It was in red and green, but it was broken up in 4 sections. I don't know if you recall that.
Yeah,
But it's
I do. But I'm not really ever. I really don't put my stock in, like, that, and I think that was a little different. I think that was like pertaining to like a historical map.
well, I
Uh,
mean,
yeah.
it's not saying it's going to be, done that way, but I'm saying the fact that the fact that you are divided you consider yourself destroyed. But at the same time, although let's just say it do happen that Texas find its way of separating itself from the United States, those countries that the United States has affected and even probably taken people out, they go still look at Texas. Oh no, you still part of that. I'm sorry. They go still look at them. Hey, matter of fact, majority of this nonsense started with the South.
Mm.
So no matter how you separate yourself from this, you claiming you separate yourself from the situation. No, you still won. We know the dirt you'd have done. And that dirt is not going to be swept up under the rug just because you broke off and said, we are our own state. No, I mean, I don't think the world is going to look at it like that. They go like, all of you are one. You can go in there and talk about, you talking about breaking up and everything now. You talking, you're a gangster disciple. And everybody else know you gangster, you broke away from them. They still see you as a gangster. They go treat you just like a gangster. And this is where we at. They can sit them and talking until they blue in the face. The world is going to always know who they are. Break off if you want to. You still go get that judgment. You still go get that heat off the top.
Hmm. Oh yeah, no, I didn't say that they weren't going to get judged. I just said, look, that's what they're going to try to do to, be able, because you can see the writing that's on the wall with this nation, right? You have economic challenges that they've never had, actually ever before, because of what's been going on. I believe, to be honest, when that does happen, that to me will then signal it's time to bounce.
Shit,
It's
kid, I
time.
think it's time to bounce now.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, what would you say? Look, you already know, because here's the thing. I look at it like this. To me, to be quite honest, I look at it like this. Once that happens, you would have the United Nations come through on both sides. Because why? Well, we want to have a peace treatment. We want to have a peace agreement. That's exactly what happened in Yugoslavia when that got balkanized. That's exactly what happened in Yugoslavia. Let's get the UN on in here. Let's try to make sure this is a successful transition, and yada 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 yada. And remember, most people left. As soon as the UN got in, most people saw the writing on the wall. It looks to me, it looks to me that that's where we may be ending up. Brother Michael, go ahead.
Yes,
Sorry I
sir.
cut you off.
Oh, you good, You good? You good? Yeah, I want to say like you were saying like each state got its own constitution, right? So if they break off, you just now had Mississippi pass the new Jim Crow laws, right?
Hmm.
What my
What?
brothers and sisters, yeah, what my brothers and sisters don't understand is this right here. I was still a slave in the early 2000s. Mississippi on their constitution still had it in their law that we were still slaves. Black people were still considered slaves in
Yes.
the state of Mississippi. You can Google this, brothers and sisters. I think it was 1999 or early 2000s. Well, where they knocked that, did away with that law. We were still slaves
Hmm.
in the state. So if they secede and you got new Jim Crow laws on here, what you think it's gonna be time to do? It's gonna be time to flee because
Yeah.
these people gonna go right back to that old racist mindset.
Hmm.
I just
Ain't
Well,
want
that
that's
everybody
something?
to look at
and
that.
and that's why I say, look, you will have more than likely interventions by the United Nations. Hey, look, let's make sure, because if not, someone even said that earlier. If not, guess what? Russia and China. That's easy. That's easy.
But,
But
but
in order for it
hmm.
to actually stay kind of stable, hey, let's get this peacekeeping force in here because why? Because your vulnerable population are your black folks. Then from
Bro.
there, I look at the African Union
Mhm.
coming through and having something to say about that. No, look, we know where this is headed, and we want to make sure that we have our people on the ground monitoring conditions for an actual exit of African Americans or those of African descent.
Don't you think that's the dumbest move that they're making? All right, you want to bring back Jim Crow. What? Do you really truly think Negroes are going to go for that? You really think that Negroes are going to sit around, wait for you to terrorize them? Do you really truly think that?
Well, they wouldn't say that. So that's the whole thing. They're not going to say, look, they're going to say, look, this is a freer, safer America that, we can all come together, right? They're going to give you they're going to give you the lip service, right? They'll give everybody the lip service. But to be honest, who eats up the lip service? It's us that eats up the lip service. I think it'll be the other nations that will be springing through and say, whoa, 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 wait a second, wait a second. Let's, this is, you're going to have a bunch of security resolutions and things of that nature. Because why? Because at that time, you don't have a stable United States. So therefore, if you don't have a stable United States, then whatever vote you have in the UN Security Council is basically defunct. It is defaulted. Well, we need to now have Russia and China to intervene as a UN Security Council member because, look, we have people that are there.
This is one of the dumbest, stupidest moves I am hearing and seeing, truthfully.
We're giving
And
it
they
to a
know,
foolish nation.
but these countries know, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, they know that they have lost the black support. This is something they know.
Exactly. But remember, we're in a shameless, what does the word say?
We are
Shameless
given
nation.
into a foolish
A
nation.
foolish nation, exactly. So they think that they're the best. Like nobody's going to do this, nobody's going to do that. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get away, so we don't have to, pay the bills that everybody's done ran up. We have a good economy, right? They're going to invite. I guarantee you. Because what are they going to say? This is a peaceful transition. Let's invite, the UN and all the world, folks, so they can see everything, and it'll only be for a few years to transition, and to get completely out of the U.S. with banking and all this other stuff. And we welcome the oversight. You see what I'm saying? Now the problem that they're going to run into is black folks are going to see what's happening, and then that's the time it's going to be like, yeah, time to leave. That's where it's going to be for us. That it's, well, here's the thing, it's no more talking. You see that they're doing that. And folks over, if you're still in the north, then guess what? Now you're trying to find somewhere else to leave. Because why? Because now those resources are now leaving. Remember, it's not going to look good for anybody up north, because up north is
Mm.
sustained by the South.
117,000
And
African Americans on the west side of Chicago in the Austin area left Chicago in 2019. They said that was a strike. It was the number. And if you go over there right now, you're not going to see a lot of us over there like back in the days. That's the area I came up in. And I was like, where's all the black people at? But they did their research, kind of find out that 117 or 119,000 African Americans left that particular side of Chicago and went to outside that state. Yes,
Down south. Everybody coming down south.
everybody. Shoot, bro, I'm leaving at the end of this month myself.
Michael, just to reinforce, add on to what Kara said, smile, bro. I mean, I know you won't be here for long because you're going across the pond, but don't fret because in the
No,
coming week,
it's not that, bro. But it's this, Rojo.
uh-huh.
I mean, I still got family and I got friends and things of that nature. If we go suffer, we all suffer. You know, it's just like when George Floyd, they did what they did to him. I never met the brother. But when I seen the brother die in real time, that affected me.
Oh, that affected a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it affected a lot of people. Matter of fact, it went global. And see, that's the thing. We could sit up here and say, "Oh man, we go show a black man or a black woman." Just like that, let's just say this black woman, she was in her car and the police stood in front of her car and everything. He pulled out his gun. He took her life. She was pregnant. He stood in front of the car saying she was trying to run him over. When he walked in front of the car, these are the dumb things that irritates me. And they come off as what did the word they use? He was in his doing his duties or whatever. He was right.
In fear of
But
his
now,
life.
yeah. But let that be a black cop. Let him stand in front of a Gentile's car and telling that Gentile to get out, and he did the same thing. You gonna see a different picture. You gonna see a different movie. You want to see a different movie. This stuff is now it's coming to a boil. It ain't just going to be just me. It's going to be a lot of us. It's going to start standing. Now, you all can shoot yourselves in the foot if you want to. That's your God-given business. But we gonna keep it moving. Leave us alone. We ain't trying to mess with you. We're not trying to be like you. Matter of fact, it's you that trying to be like me.
But Michael, I got a gorgeous gem to drop for you, though. Check this out. The American Navy might have to redirect and leave Yemen, the Strait of Hormuz, and all of that, and go into the Sea of Japan and the South China Sea, because haven't you heard there is hella unrest, civil unrest in Taiwan right now because of that presidential election. And China is edging closer and closer to capitalizing on that, and they just might launch a surprise attack. And you know what?
They just said North Korea just did some testing of some bombs close over there.
Yeah. North Korea shot 4 or 5 missiles over Taiwan, and they landed in the south side of the ocean from that island. And so,
Yellow Ocean or Yellow Sea or something like that.
The Yellow Sea, yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
So just like I said,
but don't you think that'll be a stupid move? Now you will leave over there from Yemen. You talking about the United States? You trying to play? I'm going over there to save my little brother. Just to get lit up.
And well, you know what's going to be behind them, because they're going to get sandwiched, because you know the Houthis are going to be right behind them. And I say that on TikTok, and my video gets taken down. But so far, it's okay to say it here for the time being. But you know those Houthis, they're like the Ishmaelite version of the Lithuanians. They are very relentless, and they just don't give up.
Well, bro, this is the thing I'm looking at. They call us niggas. But we have not started any type of wars with so many different nations or nations of people. They did. First, it started with this little fake thing in Gaza that, that land supposedly got undermined. Somebody flying in on some type of makeshift helicopter. All right, this is what they fed to the world. So they went in. So they started doing what they doing. So now, and then here come the United States. So, hey, we're going to support these people. They want the world to support. They tried to drag us in to support. They knew they needed to drag us in for support,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't fall for it.
Nope.
We didn't fall for it. Now, you have South Africa brought charges against them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see everybody is surrounding these particular people? It seems like the whole world is surrounding them and let them know. And then you had the audacity to talk about we go relocate these people in Palestine to in Africa. They were like, no, 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 no.
Mm-mm.
You're not going to send nobody here. But this is what they were used to. But now this stuff is falling. The whole game plan is falling. But yet it's still, they want to stand like they tall. They want to stand like their back is built. They're about to collapse. If not, they have not already collapsed. I don't see that this United States will leave, go over to Japan, and think he gonna save the day. I don't see that. Superman, all you gotta do is pull out some kryptonite. He falls from the sky.
You know, the scriptures say, "How is the hammer of the whole earth broken?" So we watching America being broken on all sides. You know what I'm saying? America has been like Debo off Friday. It's been running her way. It's been having her way all over the earth. But now that her legs are broken, what better way to hit her while she's down? Because that's what they better do. Because North Korea better go on and seize the opportunity on South Korea. China better go on and just go on and take Taiwan. And what better way to just go on and do it on one day? America can't defend war
There you go.
on 4 or 5 fronts.
Can't even take care of one. You ain't got enough of one.
And that's what I'm saying. Listen, you got to remember when they see that happening or they understand that's happening, we got to remember that. And if, let me tell you this, and if the media can't black out what's happening, you would have states literally pulling out left and right. Because why? It's a resource sustaining effort, right? I got to take what I have and I can't use it for anyone else because why? You think that these individuals are ultimate preppers? No, so are states. I'm not going to go down with the ship for nobody.
You ain't lying. Wow.
And I honestly believe that you'll probably have more states doing a lot of the double crosses. Well, it's all said and done, when it's all over, we'll get back to one another, and then we'll hash out a peace plan, a reconciliation plan, and we'll just try to revamp and renew this constitution so we don't have to deal with tyranny ever again. That's going to be their calculus. But again, once they fall, what does the word says? They never get up. Because why? Because they're going into service of Asia. That's Second Ezra 15, 42 through 46.
That's right.
That's looking more of like a reality than anything now.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it, I'm still trying to understand though, with these immigrants and they going further north. I mean, why up in New York, Chicago? I mean, and it seems like these are about the only 2 states where there are a heavy population of immigrants. Am I wrong?
I think they're all over. It's just those are the ones that are more probably collected because of the fact that, there's more resources there in that area. But I guarantee you they're probably in other different locations and areas, like a Cleveland, probably in Indianapolis, all over. It's just that, right? You probably get more. You're gonna go where the wealth is at. So you're probably getting more money, in Chicago. So people are like, all right, let's just brave these winters, stick it out for about a week or two of some really bad cold spells. And when the summertime gets in, then now Now there's really going to be a wreck or a ravage. We'll see. Now I told you all this. The U.S. military does not like to fight in the cold.
Mm.
It never does, and it never will. Now you understand. Look, these folks, Russia is literally, they've been sweeping over the last, like right after their Orthodox Christmas. They've been going on a tear in Ukraine and they have not let up. Now you're starting to see why all of these European nations are saying, oh, it's about 5 years. It's not 5 years. I don't even know if it's going to be, and they said, I don't even think it's going to be either 5 months or 5 weeks.
But let me ask you something, Karis. Do you think there's going to be an election this year?
Honestly, no.
So let me ask you something else. So now, do you think in order for them to bypass that election, do you think they're going to start this war this year?
To me, that was always the plan.
Mm, mm, mm.
Hey, we gotta suspend things, because and they'll say this: our Constitution is in a challenge, and for our Constitution to be able to meet these challenges, we have to be extraordinary, right? They'll say we have to go above and beyond. We have to, all the little word salad, word talk. With that
So,
being said, we're going to have to suspend operations, and we already have that. It's already been given, even before my presidency. Biden will say that because why? There's literally like over 30 presidential or executive, orders that have suspended the Constitution. The Constitution could be suspended right now. Actually, the Constitution could already be suspended, but they won't tell you that the Constitution is already suspended under, Executive Emergency Act, right? They're just going along with the charade because of the fact that there's, you know, they're trying their best to, do whatever transition that they can. Remember, remember, it's our bodies that's the collateral, hands and
mm.
feet.
So let me ask you something. So, do you think that with those two different scenarios, now this is where you will get this what do they call it? The Civil War from?
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. If you know that you're getting ready to have everything, reallocated and you are a political rival, well, I got to put everything, get the screws on the South because why? They're political rivals. So if they're political rivals, I just got to make sure I continue to get the screws in on them. Before what? Before they can take any resources.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
look. Do you not think? I mean, think a look. Think about what we just witnessed. Not even 12 hours ago, Trump won New Hampshire without even debating anybody.
Ain't that something?
That's all contrived and stoking people. I could see that.
Yeah. Well, it's stoking the most, stoking the Democratic Party the most. Oh snap! And we're gonna lose black people because Trump doesn't even have to do anything. He's already marching to the White House.
Asking for the dough key.
Yeah, he's already coming back. Because why? Because people can see it's gotten demonstrably worse. It's gotten so much worse that people they can't even lie about how bad it's gotten. You literally had Ukraine. You had Ukraine flare up. You had Taiwan flare up. You had Venezuela flare up. Shoot, you even had Gaza and the Red Sea on his watch. Nah, he's already knows that he's out. He knows he's out the door. Any person would be like, well, you want to know what? Trump didn't cause any of this. Biden did. So you see where my money's at.
I mean, that would seem like wow, bro. I mean,
Don't
that'd be
don't
messed up.
Do not be surprised if someone
You know,
tries to
Mike.
give.
In second.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Rojo. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was just going to say that don't be surprised if someone tries to give the Tangerine Man a lead pill prescription, and that's as far as I go with that. Seem like I'm
I mean,
vexing YouTube's
yeah,
algorithm.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that can go that can go both ways.
yeah, yeah. Please, yeah. We understand how bad it can be. I think there's no, bones about that. We don't really have to, explain the understanding of the imaginations, because we are at a dire, for them it's a dire time, right? You have a nation that is going to be very, very divided. You have a nation that probably won't be, we probably won't be at the polls. Let's just be honest. For what?
Yeah. I seen a lot of blacks on TikTok and Facebook saying, "Hey," and these are black people out there challenging other black people, saying, "I challenge you not to vote this year, black people." That's the challenge that they've been pushing out there.
I took that challenge 13 years ago, bro, Mike.
But it seems like it's hitting the fan, because a lot of them, especially here in Chicago, they looking at anything. They're looking at a lot of the single mothers being evicted out of their houses, living in their cars, and the government is not helping them out. And then we talking about the local government. And so you expect black people to come out and vote for you when
Yes.
they're getting kicked out. And they're the one who's paying taxes, and then you are housing people and giving them money,
Mm-hmm.
and you treating the people that was born here as if they just walked across the border.
Yep.
Michael, your man's going to join Lloyd. Shit. Your man's going to join him. He had a stroke and he went missing. So I don't know.
Yeah, listen. These tactical disappearances, however we look at them, now for a Secretary of Defense, that's very, very odd to me. It's like, did he already just up and go to his bunker,
They cloned him.
or did he get cloned? Yeah, there's a lot of things going on with that one. But that's the thing to me. That's the very oddest of the odd, right?
In order to save
I'm
face.
sorry.
In order
I'm
to
not
save face.
I'm not laughing at the brother. I hope he's all right. But when y'all say bunker, the word mausoleum just came to my mind. I'm sorry.
Carries, you talking about we gonna Most High gonna make us uncomfortable in this captivity, which he's already doing that right now.
Isn't he?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
In Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 40, it say, "Oh my people, hear my words, make thy ready to the battle." So even in those days, be as pilgrims on the earth. So we're gonna be moving around, brothers and sisters. We're gonna be made uncomfortable. Pilgrims move around.
Hey, Mikhail, what
Yes,
was
sir.
Israel known for? Israel was known for traveling. We was always traveling together. We was always moving. When there was a famine, boom, we move. Hey, we just getting back
And
to that
also
point
in
of thing.
that in that Second Ezra 16, it said it's gonna be great insurrections in that day.
Mm-hmm.
So January the 6th, so that's just a small insurrection. What you think we can get ready to see on a greater level?
That's what I'm trying to say. So when people are like, "Oh, I don't see Texas happening," you don't have to see anything happening. That's fine. The Most High already saw it.
Yeah,
Man,
well,
do
a
y'all know
great
that?
insurrection is like Texas seceding from the Union. That's a great insurrection.
Do you know that Texas has the
Yeah.
most protective castle laws? So trust me, Texas, you can almost, pew pew somebody for walking down your street, especially if it's a covert. They don't even have to be on your property. So you don't think those peeps in Texas know that? So I'm with Karis. I'm with Karis. Everybody's saying that nothing's not going to happen in Texas. I'm from Texas. I wouldn't bet any money on it. I'll tell you that.
Because here's something that we have to understand. Listen, a lot of these folks are just going to say, "Look, this is an invasion, and we're in fear of our lives."
They're gonna start bugging out like, oh, we gotta get the gun. The Skittles and the Pop Tarts and the Hershey bars.
They're crossing the border to take our guns.
They're gonna take our jobs, brother Karras.
Well, yeah, they're going to take American citizens' guns, but yet they're arming illegal aliens to the teeth. So you already know that Texas knows about that, because Texas and California are sister states. And you know they're talking.
Listen here, brothers and sisters. Right now, we just need to help God's people and support those folks over there and the Bob Mel and Dal Dev, whatever Brother Karras be saying. I don't know the proper term, but it doesn't matter right now. I'm speaking from the heart. Y'all need to accept that those are God's people. I'm sorry, I had to be true to character at least once.
Hey, I have a question for you, Gar. Does the Act 235 cover New Jersey too?
I don't even know what that legislation is. You're gonna have to.
The gun-toting law that's here in Pennsylvania.
I know the gun laws here in Jersey are really, really strict. I haven't looked into getting one. I remember my friend got his permit. I think he got put on a list, and then he has a license to carry, but it has to be in a case, and he can't have ammo on him or something. A lot of stipulations. So I don't know how.
It's pretty much like Detroit. You can have the gun on you, but you can't have the clip in. This is Esau. Esau is scared. That's one thing I would say. Esau has done a lot of dirt throughout. Done a lot of dirt, and so yes, I can understand why they go, sleep with their guns. You'd have done a lot of dirt to a lot of people. You got a lot of enemies out there. And so, hey, one day you gotta pay the piper. And here we are.
They
are at that particular time. And the world is saying, we won't pay back.
One more, bro.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Try to say pew pew.
Yeah. Pew pew.
Yeah.
Pew pew. Shucks. This is what they have pushed out. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was about to say something ignorant. Go ahead.
No, but that's what we at. Everything that they have done is being brought to the light. It's right there in front of everybody. And for whatever reason, Black people here in the United States are the ones that's standing out. You're talking about, Brother Mikhail's talking about Jim Crow law in Mississippi. Who do you think those laws are written against? You got this, you got countries that's looking to destroy this place, and you worried about Jim Crow coming against a particular type of people. When in essence, when you fighting a war, you get as much help as possible. But then you will sit up and think you go bring back Jim Crow, and that the world itself is hating, not hate, hating, ing, you. And you want to kill off a particular type of people or try to keep them in slavery and think you want to disrespect these people.
Go back to the pride
right,
and the heart has deceived it, man. They deceive.
I'm all about common sense, bro. And I know what the scriptures say, a foolish nation. But I tell you, this is near about just unbearable to see, and just moves, senseless moves. All right, you don't have the black vote. You can't treat black people like this and then expect them to have a hand and get their support. You will have to at least grin, tell a lot of lies, and at the same time, you gonna have to treat them better. You gonna have to give them money where they need money in order for you to have these people to support you. It ain't going that way. They done done it done. Say it again, brother.
When you still got banks discriminated against black people getting mortgage loans in 2024, like Navy
Yeah.
Federal.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got this Jim Crow mess popping up. It's the same old playbook. These people ain't repented. These people ain't changed. The scriptures say the wicked is estranged from the womb soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's all they know is lies. They speak lies. They live a lie. So yeah, they're gonna go out their way to keep this lie going. Yeah, they're gonna go out their way to keep this lie up.
Did you know that back in the days, Cadillac was about to go out of business? We talking about,
Yeah, I heard about
50,
that.
60. And guess who saved it?
Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Black people. The white guy said, you know what? He won because they would not sell to black people. But he knew that, he said, no, these particular blacks, they buy, it may be used, but he knew where to go. And that guy went right in and this is what black people say. I mean, everybody want a Cadillac, and things, but it was black people who saved Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
That's history. And see, the same thing is, the scripture said, we would have healed Babylon, but she is unwilling to be healed. We are at that point. Mikhail, you just said it. Jim Crow law. These people done lost their God-given mind.
But I couldn't figure out why they was doing it, but now I understand because I didn't get the understanding to it till yesterday when Lisa Cabrera did her live about the black population in America. But the last 20 years, our population risen 32%.
What?
32%, brother. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't 40 million no more. I think we're 100 million.
No. We are very. I think it was always we're between 60 to 70 million.
I'm gonna throw us up there in the 100 million of carries.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Wow.
And that's this is why it's critical race theory. This is why it's Jim Crow. This is why we need the immigrants to come in. I'm starting to see the picture now. If we risen 32%
Mm-hmm.
in 20 years, what do you think it's gonna be in the next 10 years?
Exactly. No, it's a population offset, and see, they're trying to say, come and let us deal wisely, right, shrewdly with these folks. It's the spirit of Pharaoh. But the problem is, even when they're trying to do everything that they want to do or they're trying to accomplish, it doesn't matter because now all the nations. These nations are against them. Nations, not just one or two.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's nations. Now they have BRICS to contend with. It's not just one or two folks, it's BRICS. It's the global south against the west. And now we're here at this time. They cannot shape that talking point. Their talking points are gone. And they don't want to really face reality. That's a hard sell for them to not only not have your talking points, but then not have the reality, because then you really don't have the people. It's a hard thing. This to them, this is the worst time in history, and it has to be. Because they have to look at the stock market. It's manipulated. We all know that. They even told you that they were going to manipulate it back in 2020 with BlackRock. That's what they did. To do what? To offset the market when it crashed in March. March 20th, they crashed. And then
Brother
Congress
Kerry,
said,
let me
all
ask
right,
you a
we're going to do
question.
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think this is a grab for the black gold? Like the black gold is the Negro man and woman and child in America. So if we done risen 32%, and they know we the tribe of Judah, don't you think this is a grab to who's going to control Judah?
Well, absolutely. This is their last gasp of who controls. Because why? Because remember a couple years ago was, well, the folks on the continent, they don't want you there and all this other blah 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 stuff, and then it's no, they actually want us here. And then they realized who it was that was providing the messaging of, they don't want to go back and they don't want to have you here. Have you noticed that those folks have been continually kicked out of Africa? Have you noticed that with their continual being kicked out of Africa, the rhetoric has changed? Because why? Because they're not there to lie.
Also, bro, Karis, just to include what you're saying, those people who want to align with those people up there instead of our brothers and sisters, they're being exposed too, as for their hearts and what they are promoting. But we spoke about it. We know that a lot of these groups are COINTEL, but now even more, you could see that they are, because they're not even like, they're against this truth about us being, the people of the book, and that how special sub-Saharan Africa is and why they've been, dividing it up. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they know that that's wealth. That's the wealth, not just of the people, but that's the wealth of the land. And the tactic has always been to divide the people from the land, because why? The land is special. You see that literally in Jubilees. We see that in Enoch.
And you
And
know
this is
what,
what they're
Karis?
mad about. Yeah, go ahead, Brother Mikhail.
And if you go back during the 1800s, 17, even the 1600s, when we came up, we was inventing everything to get America where she is today. I mean, we was inventing everything, and they took it from us. You don't think that same innovation is in our people right now today? If we just up and just go to Africa right now, I think we'll turn that place around in one day.
Well, we
Do I
at
need to,
Question Night Africa, we run simulations, and we've determined with the simulations that we ran that it would take us about
According to the AI algorithm,
it would take us about a little less than 6 months to have real strong, innovative change.
Well, what
and
the
it's a
scriptures say?
blessing.
Can a nation be born in one day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, that's a nice question, because it seemed like it that's a strong possibility. I mean, if you just go in there, you look, and I told this to Karis, and Karis is the only one that can crack a joke on it. But these sisters in Nigeria, they learned, they figured out how to take a generator and use urine to power the generator. This is what they did. They used human waste, really, and it powered the generator. Little young sisters, they were like 15, 16 years old. Yes, it can be done. It can be done. Hey, there was another video where
Mike,
they had.
Mike, you gotta get some advertising to that. Hello, the urinator or the PP power pack?
You know what? See, I took. See y'all. See, only Karis can come up with that. See,
Africa runs on urine. Actually, let me.
I gotta steal that one. The piece.
see, only Karis can come up with that. See, I was saying, all right, he gonna leave it alone. Okay, he came right back and bought it.
Yeah, Mike was trying to move so quickly from that too. He was trying to give Mike some credit. Mike was trying to get to that next point and said, "Oh snap! I don't."
But I mean, I know for a fact what we are going to do. There was another video. I don't know what type of rock it was, but they had a wire on one end and another, but he was touching the device to some metal, and it was sparking. The rock was giving off some type of charge that, and I was like, wow, all it takes is for us to be back on that continent, and it's a done deal. It is absolutely a done deal. We have stuff in our head. You got the brother there, because I remember, I think it was Walter, Brother Walt. He sent the video of this Nigerian brother, and he was taking static electricity out of the air, and he was powering the TV and everything.
Powered a helicopter too.
And a helicopter too, Brother Mikhail. Walt sent me that video of this brother, but then at the same time, see, we don't need to be pushing that stuff out there like that, because it's just like with Dr. Sebi. When he said what he did, what he cured and everything, he became a threat. He became a threat to the medical industry. And then when they feel I'm sorry, say it again.
Yeah, I was saying, I was agreeing. He sure did. He came a threat. Go ahead, brother.
Became a threat. And so when brothers and sisters have these ideas, you have to proceed cautiously. It's just like that brother that was in when the little Gentile went to the store and shot like 10 of our people and deleted them. But then there was one particular brother in that store. He figured out a way to use water to run the car. And he made a video about it. He became a threat. He became a threat. You're talking about the oil, the gas industry? Oh no. And you talking about water that they can get from their sink? Yeah, it's some things, and I would say this to any black person. Keep that video private until you get back on the continent. Because you're a liability if you here in this country. Oh yeah, man, you're a liability in Africa, but it seemed like the stronghold of the West is so weak now. They trying to cause havoc. They trying to get these countries fighting with one another. They bringing in they doing what they do best. They are causing division and conflict. And this is, like Carrie said earlier, this is an attack on us. That's all this is. It's the last ditch effort to disrupt us. If they can disrupt us, they got the rest of the world. But we know for a fact it's just not going to happen. Yah has woken us up. We're seeing things. We know things. And we know what's about to happen to them. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty.
Yeah,
but that respect.
I hope that brother that made that machine that pulled water, that pulled air out through this machine that makes water, his name was Moses.
Yeah,
He was
Moses.
up to that mission. Yeah, I hope he's protected.
Steve, he's
because
in South Africa. He's in South Africa. And
man, all
guess,
praise.
and guess what happened though? Them folks done his
All
product.
up on them. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rojo. Say it again.
Them folks done copied his product, and now they're selling it on the market now.
Yeah. Should have known that was going to happen. Should have known that was going to happen. When he came out with that machine, they was all up on him. Me and Mike Roebuck was communicating with that brother.
Yeah.
And it was certain things he couldn't say. And he was saying, but he literally built that machine for the purpose of taking it to Africa. But the government got involved. The last time we talked to him, I think he was in Texas though. The last time we did. All right, cool. All right, yeah. And I'm serious.
Hey Mike, I have a question about your city. And I heard you talking about it a little bit, but then I had to go, get some pancakes or whatever. So I missed what you were saying. But I have a question. What is happening to our folks out there? Are they getting killed and buried like they doing them in Mississippi, or what?
You talking about Mikhail?
No, you in Chicago, like Chicago ain't hardly got any of us out there anymore.
No. No. A lot of black people leaving Chicago. That's a known fact.
Really?
I mean, the heaviest black population now, south side of Chicago. West side is not populated. It's majority of it's Spanish, Mexicans. It's getting that way. The south side of Chicago is the heaviest. Heaviest population of blacks, but not like it used to be. The west side used to be, a lot of us. No, they packed up and got about it. They said that exodus started in 2019.
I've been to South 69th and South 75th. I ain't seen a black person out there. Not one. Not even.
Oh yeah, they out there. Now it all depends on now what 100 you going to. Now if you going back, if you going past like Kedzie, no, they turn it to Spanish. And then the Spanish, then you may have some whites blending in with the Spanish, and they phase on out. Now it's a small portion. It's not a lot of blacks like what you think it is now. It's not. A lot of us is getting out of here. I'm serious. If they're not going south, they going to majority of them going south, especially Atlanta and Texas and some Arizona. Yeah, that's what a lot of blacks been doing. And it could be y'all is just letting his people know, hey, it's time for you all to get out there. And like what Brother Mikhail said, the scripture said, y'all is making it difficult. He's making it difficult for us. And so now when when things hit and you up in the northern states, you look for a better cost of living, which is going to be south.
Yeah.
Put your thing in my email real quick so I can send you a small gift. Your dang, the dollar sign thing.
Okay. All right. I got you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm like trying to be as coded as I can, but that kind of came off kind of creepy. Put your thing in my email. Nah, not that thing. The cash out. I've been working all night.
Is that what they call it now, Rojo? I think you done picked up some
Rojo,
things.
that's all you got to say. Pause.
I think you done picked up some things in the Northeast, haven't you? Get that John over there, yo. Get that John, yo.
Yo, just say
Rojo
pause
went
on
to
that,
a
John.
different world.
Pause.
You went to a different world, didn't you, Rojo?
I mean, I feel kind of, because in Tennessee, it's like you can say something, everybody know it. Up here, it's like, so I think I'm gonna have to take Brother Goss' advice, and if I say something out of whack, pause.
You gotta say pause.
Yeah, because I know you don't have that Philly accent, and that's gonna be that's gonna be rough. You know what I'm saying?
And Karis, I was fine. I was flowing with it, put your thing in my. But then what got me was when Mike said, "Hold on, excuse me, what?"
It's either pause or hey yo.
Mike will tell you. I don't let no type of pimp run game on me. That's what Mike always says in the background. I know when a pimp is talking. I
know a pimp when I see a pimp, brother.
Hey, Chicago used to have a whole lot of them. I mean, one guy ran up on, man, that dude made me spend. He irritated me. Every time he spoke, he had to rhyme. I was like, what's up, man? Oh, man, you know how it is. And so every word he had to, I was like, dude, can we just have a normal conversation, man? And I think they just as messed up with the women they mess up, man. I mean, but you don't see them anymore. You don't see a lot of that on the west side like you used to. Like I said, our numbers are decreasing in these cities dramatically. I mean, dramatically. Downtown Chicago, they got so many, got all those tall buildings. And the business I do, I couldn't do it in downtown Chicago because I'm not union. That's 134. Recently, they opened up that thing. I mean, it's like I'm going inside that building doing work. And I'm like, where's the union at? I'm running cable in these buildings and everything. They're not asking for all the paperwork they used to ask for. I'm quite sure they're there, but they're just opening it up because it's naked.
Yeah.
Those companies those companies shut. They're not going to say this stuff on the news. They're not, because it would kind of bring about a panic.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
downtown Chicago is naked. I mean, Christmas, when it was that season, used to be packed. Usually be packed with people, and especially Gentiles. It was naked. It was absolutely naked.
Well,
Every
I travel back and forth from Florida to Mississippi or to the Carolinas, and like I pay attention to people tags on their car, and I see I didn't never used to see this 10, 15 years ago. Your name is, when you cross in the state, you'll normally see that particular state people tags. Right now, I see Indiana, I see Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York. I mean, I said, man, what are all these people doing from up north coming down here? Oh, they down here looking for real estate. They down here for the move. And like where I'm from, a lot of people don't know, Mississippi is the furniture capital of the world. North Carolina is the furniture capital of the world. A lot of people furniture that you sit on, that people that live up north, our people, a lot of that furniture come from the south. A lot of the wood come from the south. So we was talking about resources, or graph for resources. A lot of stuff come from the south, and now the south is being big in building automobiles. We got Toyota in Tupelo, Mississippi. We got Nissan in Jackson, Mississippi. We got Mercedes over in there in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We got Hyundai in Montgomery, Alabama. So a lot of these big car manufacturers are moving to the south.
Yeah.
Ashley Furniture is out of Wisconsin. They shut their operation down in Wisconsin, and they in where? Ed Crew, Mississippi now. So a lot of people are migrating.
Yeah. And it's happening, bro. It's happening now. This is the time. And it's going to get to a time where things are going to get a lot more, well, it is serious, but it's going to be more of a concrete seriousness that, you have to make some concrete decisions and moves and things of that nature. We just, he's getting us prepared mentally to see these things, to make moves. Back in the days, everybody got that decent job. The first thing we did was move to the suburbs around white people. Now he's like, oh no, it's getting to a point where I need to move around black people. It's getting that way. Because now you're looking, I need other black people to watch my back, even though they don't, but 9 times out of 10, black people will pay attention to black people. That's one thing that's going to happen. And it's getting back to that particular time. Yeah, they have came in back in the 60s and took the fathers out of the houses and put the mothers on welfare. If you got a man in the house, we're going to cut you off. And it broke us up. But now, this awakening, no, we like clenching together. No, you're not going to break us up no more. That nonsense ain't going to ride no more.
Now look who's father's at the house now.
Good luck. I got family in Atlanta because that's where I'll be heading.
I got family down there too.
Sisters, like our class, or the Melchizedek Memphis, in Tupelo, we bought 50 acres of land. Y'all know how much we spent on 50 acres?
How much?
$40,000. Go buy 50 acres and somebody else. Go buy 50 acres somewhere else and see how much they cost you.
Oh, yeah.
You can get 10 acres right now for 15 grand. And that's what people just come down here buying land by the droves, y'all.
Question is then how you going to develop that land?
Yeah.
And,
it's funny.
That's going to be the issue.
It's funny, Michael, because people here up north, they're just building and building and building. I'm like, where are you building? There's like no land to build houses, and who's gonna move into these houses here in Jersey?
Well, funny thing about New Jersey, New Jersey has some of the best land in America as far as growing stuff. I mean, New Jersey, yes, filthy on the coastline because of those waste from those plants. But you get into the interior of New Jersey, that soil is enriched.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's actually fantastic. It's actually a
Yeah,
really good soil
yeah.
right there in that area, even down to Virginia. A lot of, the land over there, especially on the coastlines, is really good soil. It is very good. Yeah, that's why it is called the Garden State. Yep, thank you, General Warman. It is the Garden State, especially when you're there in South Jersey. Like when I grew up, my grandmother had acres. She had acres of land, and it would be farmed by other farmers, and we would just get the bushels of greens, corn, and green beans. And it now granted, in this day and age, in terms of how things are in the atmosphere, pollutants and things of that nature, yeah, nothing's
Hmm.
really safe. You know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to grow things in a land that's actually already spoiled. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny
So
because the lady down the street sells this corn, and the corn, it was like really sweet, and like my mom used to like love to get the corn from this lady, but I don't know if that's like the specialty crop here in Jersey. But I forgot it was the Garden State, and I've lived
hmm
there most of my life. That's funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
South Jersey, yeah, it's all about. It really is about farming and
hey,
planting.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and bug on out, leave early. Michael, don't forget to leave me your thing.
I sent it's in the chat.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna look at the chat before I go, or you just let Karis kick me down. Um, and Karis,
Pause.
I'll be getting with you later on that thing that we're talking about, and
Mhm.
maybe we could talk in the back lines on another chat or an email to see who gets what. But
Yeah.
Michael, yeah, leave that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little gift and wish you and your son the best.
I
And
appreciate that, bro.
the only thing I ask for is that you send some pictures, bro. Send some pictures. I won't. I mean, of y'all being out there. That is, I won't take it as a slap in my face because I want to be out there too. So
Just trust and believe you will get way more than pictures, man. 'Cause we going out there doing videos and things, man. Yeah, it gonna be some pictures and videos. We're not playing. We know exactly what we're going out there to do.
I
We're
Uh,
gotta send back
we're
some
already
photos.
especially like
setting up. We're already setting up for
I kid you
when
not.
Mike gets back to Dar es Salaam. We're setting up for the rose petal throwers. Like King
You know,
Joffrey said,
let me tell you something, man.
And we need enough cloth
coming to
for his. We
Africa.
need enough cloth for his robe, for his African robe.
you know,
Do we have enough textiles there?
look, on that note, I'm gonna bug out. Shalom. I enjoy the panel. Enjoy the chat. Man, y'all are too much for a brother. Man, golly, Karis.
only carrots can come over there. I don't know. What am I thinking about? No throwing out no rose petals. I think.
It's great to be back on the continent. Oh, how I missed you.
The
Oh,
chief
the
is back.
smell.
Everybody,
Holy
the chief
wind.
is back.
Man, I tell you, hey, but those brothers, they up on the attack too, just like we are. What's going on here, and things. So I mean, but they keep asking, hey, when you coming back? When you coming back? Hey, what about you and brother Karras? When y'all coming back? And they know, 'cause we left an impression. We did when we meant to do that. It was one brother. Man, he was taking us to see Sister Judy, he had got a ticket, and boy, he was mad because I know that ticket probably was going to amount to what we was going to pay him for the ride. But man, Sister Judy, she got sick. This brother took her and us to the hospital. We sat there, and he sat there. And then he sat there. And we was there for a couple of hours and everything. And so, he took her back home. We all, rode with. And then he took us back to the hotel. Let me tell you something. when a brother who didn't have to sit that long and do what he did, man, please, we paid for that brother's ticket and I think that brother walked off with over $100 and some dollars.
Yeah.
Well, we paid that brother. And he was very happy. Very happy. But the fact that he just sat there, because he didn't have to stay there. He could, he dropped us off. He could have left. We had to just call another one, But I mean, when we went there, we meant to leave an impression, and we did. And we did just that. And so, hey, yeah, it's advantageous for us to go back. Now we're on the same mission, but it's a stronger mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stronger mission.
Yeah, now we're getting things done. Look, the planning is over, right? And now we're actually executing. And so that's what we're getting ready to do. This is part of the Invest in Africa seminar. There are now avenues of our people to have and participate in group economic cooperatives, right? Sharing the burden and receiving, right, the sharing of that profit, that income, those particular ventures. And that's what we're going to be showing you all in this Invest in Africa seminar. Let me go ahead and I will post that link in the chat. Thank you, Sister Bonnie. She wanted to make sure. See, look, I'm telling you. Do you see all the people that are my bosses here in the chat? Oh, the boss says something. Yep. Because it's a pleasure. I've always said this, and I said this on this channel. I work for you all. That's my job. I work for you all.
Hey, Karis, is that seminar? Is it online? It's going to be online, or is it in person?
It is online. It is a webinar, but we're calling it a seminar. We pray that as this thing grows, it'll be not just a seminar, but an actual conference that will span both East and West Africa. So we're growing, family. We're getting there, and we're praying for divine favor for one of the guests that's a dignitary. And we're praying that once we get that guest secured, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You all will be, look, I'm just going to tell you, it's not us, it's the Most High. That's how he works. That's how he works. But see, family, it's a leap of faith. Look, we've gotten a Rwandan dignitary that works in the office of the ambassador, the Rwandan ambassador to the United States, and he specializes in garnering business development in Rwanda, and he's agreed to speak at the seminar. So there's Rwanda coming through. We're working on Uganda now. We're actively in the midst of those discussions. We also have Tanzania, and we're getting ready to really, Tanzania is an awesome one, because then you'll be able to have the access to the Tanzania Investment Center, so you can see how that all shapes on out. We're in a great opportunity, family, because do you want to know what? Now's the time. Now's the time. So here we are at this moment. Listen, we see how this thing is working in the world, but don't think that the Most High doesn't have a plan for his people. He always does.
I'm not your boss.
All right, thank you, Auntie Bonnie. I appreciate it. But
But
That's
she will
not
pull out that belt, though. She'll pull
yeah,
out that belt. I'm not your
that's
mother,
not
but I will pull that belt out.
that's not how you act in them prayer meetings. Now I'm just hallelujah. Oh man, but yeah, no, we have a great group of people, and we're continuing to grow. We need help with IT support. We need help with our digital functions. If you have IT support, a background in IT, if you have a background in media and things of that nature, please come on board. We're looking for that right now because we have to show the messaging of what we're doing. We have a great medical team. They have put together their initiatives, and we are getting that together with building more mink kits here. So we're going to have those events coming through very shortly. And we also have our logistics teams that's providing the necessary strategies of getting things over to the continent in a in an affordable and reasonable uh, time time frame. So having our 501c3 that has opened up the doors of what we wanted to accomplish earlier, but it always takes time. And that's where now we're in the midst of. Now we got to take advantage of what we have, because the question now is, how much time do we honestly have left? That is the question. And we're seeing this. This is the convergence of stratagem. You're seeing all the pieces on the table throughout the world. And now, as we had said, this 2024 is going to be a year like none other. And that's what it's shaping up to be. So, with that, I'm going to open this on up for final thoughts.
Well, I'll go, brother Karras. All right. Folks, you see what's going on in the geopolitical hegemonic processes of the world and what's unfolding, folks. Listen here. I don't care what anyone says. Those are God's people. And we're going to see the scriptures be fulfilled. No, I'm just joking. I'll see y'all later. This was a great discussion. And everyone stay blessed. Shalom.
All right. All right. Shalom. All right. Thank you, brother Garth. Brother Mike, final comments, because you got to get to work. You got some things
Yeah,
to do.
yeah, I do, man. I tell you the truth, and at the same time, packed. Whew, man, I hate moving with a passion. You just don't know.
Mike,
But
you got all them immigrants on up there. Your package shouldn't be that hard.
man, I don't know about that because they coming in robbing people now.
you gonna be like, you gonna be like, how come my trailer only has half of my stuff?
Yeah,
Where's my
you,
bed at? Where,
hey,
somebody better find my mattress.
hey, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm serious. They. I mean, hey, it is what it is. This is what This is what they wanted. They bring in, and so hey, you brought in some more crime. Okay, no problem. But I mean, uh, yeah, we living in exciting times, and there's a lot of work that has to be done. Uh, but the work that we have to be done individually is to continue to pray for our brothers and sisters because it's going to get harder. It is. It's like Kara said earlier. This is like their last ditch effort to try to prove their point. And we all know it's not going to work. We know it's happening, but we need to continue to maintain our faith and maintain our courage because we're going to need it. At the end of the day, it's going to be Yah that we will be calling on.
Hallelujah.
And I rest that.
All right. Thank you, brother Michael. All right, family. We're seeing what this is going on. I think the panel, I think the chat, because you all had some stories up on in there. Yeah, we see things going on in Sweden, especially for our folks there in the UK. Y'all are able to kind of see a lot more over on that side of the water than we are here. We can only get things in terms of what's filtered down to us. So, so we definitely appreciate you all providing that particular news. And that's going to be critical because, again, as the news here becomes more, I'm going to say, censored and things of that nature, we are getting ready to hit up our Quest Unite Africa news. Quest Unite Africa news is already on our Quest Unite Africa channel. So if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't hit the notifications, please do so. But here's the thing: we need to be able to be informed, right, with the very latest. Nice, digestible chunks. And, we can provide the analysis, but really, the people have to see what's happening. We really do. So that will be on the Quest Unite Africa channel. Quest, the number 2, Unite Africa. That channel. Head on over there. Thank you for those that have continued to support Quest Unite Africa. I definitely appreciate it, family. The support, especially in this time, is critical. Critical. Because now this mission is really moving forward. Mike has a lot of stuff to do. Please pray for Mike and his family. He is going to be very, very busy over these next couple of days. And so, family, we are doing this thing tremendously. And we have to do the work in the season that we're given. Because these folks are about to be a lot more unhinged because they're starting to see, or maybe they're not. Maybe they just want to be willfully ignorant. And I would probably choose them being willfully ignorant of what's getting ready to go down. But with that said, family, most time willing, I will see you all back tomorrow. And let me tell you, a lot happens in the course of 24 hours. So let's see what has gone down during that time. So with that said, family, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, peace and blessings. Yasharel.
Container packed with supplies that need to make their way to families in Africa, like yesterday. You said this is a 53-foot trailer? This trailer is packed with medical supplies destined to the motherland. We need to help get these out of here. Are you tired of fighting with your wife or with your husband? Have you each retreated into your separate corners, not even trying to speak to each other anymore? Are your children witnessing a toxic marriage rather than a purposeful partnership? Hi, I am Shar, and I am an attorney mediator and experienced in helping families for the past 13 years navigate really challenging times. And I am here to help you. Husbands, hear your wives. Wives, hear your husbands. So together we can find the truth why your family is struggling and what it will take to get unstuck from cycles of misunderstanding and patterns of frustration. Join me live on YouTube on this Monday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern as I conduct a live mediation. And if you would like to be heard, if you would like to hash out a misunderstanding with your spouse here on our live, sign up now to apply for your free opportunity to mediate. And I look forward to seeing you Monday night.
Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Karibuni sana.